got some news. What's going on?
There is a new D&D book coming out.
Say
Yay!
what?
D&D! D&D! It's D&D! Yeah, that's it. That's the entire news segment.
Brilliant. Okay, so you're not going to tell us
basically.
what the book is or what it's in
No, I'm
relation to.
joking.
You're just
So
going to...
it's called Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. All about, it's about Dr. Rudolf van Richten. He's a vampire hunter. He appears in The Curse of Strahd. Dan, that's what it. Well, Dan may have seen him or is yet to see him.
No, huge spoiler. It's ruined it for me. I'm going to stop doing that campaign now.
That's it.
Whoopsie, sorry. He's been around the setting of Ravenloft for many, many years. And the Ravenloft there's a bunch of domains in Ravenloft, and there's every domain has like its own like Dark Lord. So Strahd rules Barovia. And there's some ones that have other domains. So this one's going to give you some like new things to introduce, like a horror campaign into, like if you wanted to do your own horror campaign. So you didn't want to do Curse of Strahd, but you wanted to do that sort of vein. It enables you to do that. It's also got some lineages, I think, that you may be able to and like horror themed subclasses as well. Investigator background, and some other monsters as well that are in there. There's a whole lot of basically horror themed Dracula based goodness in there.
Forgive my ignorance in matters of D&D, but this sounds quite similar to something that Scott was talking about a few weeks back on Dangerous Wednesdays. So it seems like Wizards are really, really sort of pouring quite a lot of they're revamping, if you like. Oh, stop it. They're revamping their kind of the gothic horror side of their adventures. I
think they wanted to like just expand on it. I think because they redid the Curse of Strahd, they remastered it after some player feedback. They brought another version out of it, which has slight differences, I think, as well, to the one that's out like from the old one.
I mean, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, just no, it's exactly the same, guys. There we go.
There's a lot of nice changes with the special editioning. One of the nicest ones is actually one of the characters who's on the cover of this book, who is a character who is disabled, which in the original version is not handled in a particularly good way, and in the rewritten version is handled in a much better way. And they had a sensitivity reader just look at it, or maybe the entire D&D community look at it and be like, "Can you change that bit, please?" And they have. So there's some nice bits. She's a cool character. We just met her in Strahd.
Good. We have the mighty Veyron with us tonight. Hello, Veyron.
Hey, Veyron.
And he says, Ravenloft, the Masquerade. Well, yes, exactly. Nice. I don't know about you, but maybe it's just that the world seems to be plunging into darkness itself. Or maybe there's some glimmers of light. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think we've been starved of good vampire stuff. I know that I keep babbling on about Vampire the Masquerade 2, which is coming out at some point. It's been pushed back. But, I can't wait to get my teeth into something like that. Is there anything else, Ross, we should know about this?
No. So, yeah, there's Dhampir, Hexblood, and Reborn are the new character lineages that you can play. There's also 2 new subclasses as well that you can play: the College of Spirits for bards and the Undead Pact for warlocks as well.
Interesting.
So that's quite cool. It includes a brand new adventure as well. So if you buy it, you can play through an adventure. I'm not sure how like far it goes, but it's probably like a sort of one shot maybe in the back of the book. And this is coming out in the 18th of May 2021. So
do we have any price yet?
Yeah, well, it'll be the same as $49.95. So that's probably about 35, maybe
Mm.
35, 36, 7.
Mm.
So around that. Yeah. So have a look out that. More details to follow, I think, as they delve deep into it, and you get some review copies and stuff of it.
Absolutely. It sounds like a very good time to dust off your cloaks and get your stakes sharpened and delve into this side of D&D. Very exciting.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things about this that I think are really impressive. You're right. We were talking about the dump here and some of these classes on a couple of weeks ago, maybe slightly longer.
It's all
When
the
they
time's
brought them
all
out
the
for their
same.
unearthed, when they brought them out for their unearthed arcana, which is like their version of playtest. So the fact that they are playtesting something or were playtesting something a few weeks ago, and the book is out in May, says a lot about how close to the wire they're doing it with tweaks. We're used to Paizo sort of playtesting something now for a book that will come out in the autumn. So to do it with such a quick turnaround, I guess, shows what you can do when you have the mechanics of a company that big working behind it. But it's very impressive that they're doing it. There's some really good authors on this: Amanda Hammond, Crystal Fraser, a lot of really, really good people in it. And it's Ravenloft. Everyone loves Ravenloft. Ravenloft was a great setting back in second edition D&D. It's still a great setting now.
It is nice to show some, it's obviously clearly showing reverence towards their source material and really getting the best writers on the job and doing the job right. So very exciting, very exciting. Yes, Amy says it's fantastic. So so lots of expectations about that. And we'll move on to the second piece of news. Dan, do you have some news for us?
Love some spooky stuff. I do. I have one small piece of news. I'm going to keep it brief on this one because we have a monster of a review to get through. And I think that this topic is actually something we can talk about in some more depth in a couple of weeks when we can give it the time. But on the Paizo blog, a couple of the developers, Michael Sayer and Mike Seifter, have published the results of the Guns and Gears playtest, talking about playtests. So we did a whole episode about this playtest a couple of months ago, or just after Christmas, talking about how the playtest for the Gunslinger and for the Inventor class that were going to be added to the game.
Yes,
Lots of people went out and played Gunslingers and quite liked them. Lots of people went out and played Inventors and really liked them. The Inventor has proved to be a very popular class. To give you a quick rundown of them, the Gunslinger obviously uses guns, muskets. Sometimes they dual wield sword and a pistol. The Inventor builds suits of armor or little robots that can help them, things like that. And they're going to be 2 new classes that are coming out. And they've given some of the feedback that was given and an idea of what they're going to be doing with the class going forward. So we're going to have the short version, because like I say, I won't go into it too much, is that reload is going to be a lot easier. There's going to be feats to help you with that for Gunslingers, because that was a problem. There will be a lot more guns, and the Inventor is going to be is going to have a lot more freedom with what they can do, including if you choose to be the companion Inventor, which I think was quite popular, the one where you build a little robot dude who's your friend. There's going to be feats in that to make that better and for you to be able to build your class around your pet, a bit like you can do with a druid and your animal companion. If you want, you can pour your feats into making that the whole focus of your character. On this, you can do that too. And there's talk about an ability that basically allows you to give 3 actions to your pet, which is something we won't have seen before. So you could effectively stand at the back with a remote control, having your little robot running around doing all of the combat for you, which I love pet classes. That really appeals to me.
So it's safe to say that number 5 is most definitely alive. They are coming.
Yes.
I've got a question, though, because there was some concern raised about Gunslingers because they can be incredibly OP. Have they kept in, do you know, the sort of things where, because they were going to make it quite a lot harder and maybe more misfires and various other things to curb that astonishing power that guns have?
The misfire thing doesn't seem to have, certainly in this, it doesn't sound like misfire has been changed very much, which is weird. That was one of our kind of criticisms of it, was that misfire seemed a bit pointless.
Yeah.
But it may be that it just wasn't very well explained or isn't relevant for that particular playtest. The thing that limits them in second edition is there is no touch AC in second edition. So you're not rolling to hit against almost nothing. You're not guaranteed to hit.
Yeah.
On a side note, I've now got a gunslinger in our Kingmaker campaign that I'm playing off air. We got to make new characters. I made a level 6 gunslinger with all of the pistol feats. And you'll be pleased to know that in my very first game of it, I unloaded about 6 shots in 2 turns into a couple of enemies, killed both of them in no time at all, rolled like 90 damage or something ridiculous like that, and then completely ran out of grit, jammed my gun, and had to go and sit in the corner because I forgot to keep some grit back to be able to clear my gun, and I didn't buy a melee weapon. So about as sensible a plan as when Ross and I played Gunslingers at PaizoCon. Like, no backup at all.
Splendid. Yeah.
So much fun.
And certainly, we've already been picking up the excitement that people have had about the Inventor class. It's really, really sort of captured people's imaginations, I think. Ross, are you still excited about that?
Yeah. Can't wait. I'm going to be a gunslinger. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I was talking about the Inventor. Never
no,
mind.
I'm going to be a gunslinger, and I'm going to shoot your Inventor with my pistol. That won't and then I won't have to misfire as well.
I'm going to invent a little robot buddy who's going to have a gun, and he's going to shoot your gun down the barrel and blow off your hand. So there we go. A clash of the ages shaping up here.